I love a good bowl of ramen noodles, and these 20-minute Thai red curry ramen noodles with a little bit of chili garlic oil are so delicious, and obviously they're easy because they take 20 minutes. So you make a quick oil, you get some herbs, get a little bit of ginger, pour the oil over those fresh herbs, and then you want to boil off some ramen noodles. I love to use the brown rice ramen noodles. Add a little soy sauce to the mix, toss it all together, and then I serve it up with green onions on top. They're so good. You guys are going to love them.
Hey, Big Bellies. So today I made a chopped cheese wrap, y'all. These things were so fire. I started off by seasoning up my beef patties. Just use whatever seasonings you like. Dice an onion, chop it up, add it, then sprinkle a little bit more seasoning. Add just some pepper jack cheese. Go in with some peppers and shredded cheese. Mix that thing up like that. Then you get your wrap. Put your meat on there, your lettuce, tomatoes, pepper, burger sauce, whatever you want to do. It'll come out like it. Y'all, the recipe is on my Facebook at Meals by Disha. Enjoy.
These are the best dumplings I've ever made. They were super crispy and so delicious. I like to mince up some chicken thighs as opposed to buying store-bought mince. I feel like it's much better quality. Then very finely chopping up some spring onion and coriander. And this is what we're going to be popping into the mince. Pop the mince into a large mixing bowl and then crush your garlic. I love this garlic crusher. I got it off Amazon. Then grate your ginger, but not your fingers. Then to that add some soy sauce, sesame oil, oyster sauce. And they always say to mix in one direction and not like willy-nilly. This is when I realized I forgot the egg. Pop an egg in and give that a really good mix. This is the consistency that you're after. Nothing too wet, nothing too dry. This is perfect. This here is a juicy filling, and let's fill them up. I'm using gyoza wrappers. I like them because they're a bit thinner. Here I'm folding them very pretty, which I don't usually do. I'm starting on one end and then finishing to the other, pressing to seal. And these are all the folded ones. I think I made about like 40 or 50. Look how pretty they are. Time to cook these bad boys. When cooking them, you have to add cold water. This is pretty much steaming the dumplings to cook the inside. Then when a lot of the water's gone, that's when you start to pan fry and get them super, super crispy. I might have made these a little too big, but they were so good. I'm topping this with some Momofuku chili crunch. This chili oil is delicious. I also added some spring onion, chili, and then some soy sauce.
If you think chicken and rice is boring and bland, you have to try making this Nando's copycat peri peri chicken and rice. Also, did I mention it's a one-pan recipe, so cleanup is super easy. Start up by marinating the chicken thighs in some olive oil, chili powder, garlic powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, cumin, and salt. Sear it in a pan on both sides, and then you're going to baste it with some medium peri peri sauce if you don't like it too spicy. To the same pan, add some butter, and then saute some garlic, red bell pepper, and tomato paste. Toast the rice, and then you're going to add your chicken broth along with a bunch more spices. Cover to let it cook to perfection, and then we're going to add our peas and cilantro and mix that all together. Finally, add the chicken back on top, and all that's left to do now is enjoy.
Let's make a super easy but delicious one-pot dinner. This is perfect for nights that you're super busy or just don't feel like cooking. You'll take 2 pounds of sausage and an onion. You'll go ahead and fry that up with some butter or olive oil, whatever you'd like. Once it's nice and cooked down, you'll go ahead and add a little bit of garlic. You'll let it cook down a little bit more, add 2 cups of chicken broth, a can of diced tomatoes, and a half a cup of heavy cream. You'll stir it all up, make sure it's nice and mixed, and then add in a pound of bow tie pasta. Stir it all up and make sure all of the pasta is completely submerged in the sauce. You'll bring it to a simmer, cover it, and let it sit for about 15 minutes or so until the pasta is cooked thoroughly. And finally, all you will do is add just some cheddar cheese. I used about a cup, but it's really up to your preference, however much you like. Go ahead and melt the cheese, and that is it. It is so good.
Everyone loves a one-pan meal that comes together in less than an hour, so let me show you how to make this delicious chicken and rice. Start by mixing the spices listed above. Use half of it to season the chicken, along with a tablespoon of avocado oil. Then, in a hot Dutch oven, drizzle 2 tablespoons of avocado oil and place in your seasoned chicken thighs. Let it cook for 6 to 7 minutes on each side. You want to get a beautiful golden brown crust. It should look like this. In the same pan with the same oil, add in 1 onion, 1 pepper. Saute until the onions turn light brown and the peppers get soft. Then add in 5 cloves of garlic, along with the other half of the spices we used for the chicken. Give it a quick mix. Add in 1.5 cups of basmati rice. Give the rice a quick mix, just for a minute. We don't want to break the rice. Now add in 3 cups of chicken broth and make sure nothing is stuck to the bottom of the pan. Bring your chicken back and place on top of the rice. Cover your pan and let it cook on low heat for 30 minutes. Once 30 minutes is over, you should look like this. This part is optional, but it brings so much smoky flavor to the rice. Place a piece of foil and some charcoal, add a drop of oil, and cover with your lid and let it sit for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, remove your lid, garnish with cilantro or parsley, and you're done. Don't forget to follow.
Tonight we're trying another dinner we saw on TikTok. To start, we cut up some potatoes and then added salt, garlic, pepper, and paprika. Then threw them in the air fryer to crisp them up. We also fried up some bacon and shredded a bunch of cheese. Next, we cut up and cooked 2 chicken breasts. I just completely forgot to record it, but then we mixed those in with the potatoes. We then added a bunch of ranch dressing to the top and mixed that all together. Now we added all the potatoes to a baking dish and topped it with about half the cheese that we shredded. Then we added our bacon to the top, spreading it around evenly. And then lastly added the remaining cheese to the top. We baked this in the oven at 400 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes, just long enough to melt the cheese. This was so good that we cannot wait to make it again.
when I did some private chef work a few years ago, and I've been perfecting the recipe ever since. You essentially start off by filling a large bowl halfway with water. You add a 1/4 cup of salt, and then you add your chicken and let it sit for at least 15 minutes. In the meantime, you make your barbecue seasoning. The seasoning is also good on like chips and fries, so do what you will with it. But once your chicken is done brining, you can rinse it off and then pat it really dry, and then really just go to town with that barbecue rub. You can pop these on a sheet tray and bake them, or if you're looking for a little bit of crust, you can sear them on high heat in neutral oil. I'd recommend searing each side for about 2 to 3 minutes max, and then pop them on a sheet tray and finish them off in the oven for 15 minutes. When they come out, let them rest for 10 more minutes. Just saying, you can also grill this chicken. You can also add as much or as little of that barbecue rub, but I hope you enjoy it.